Hey everybody, my name is Marcel. This is Irnieracing YouTube. The liberals are running for the fence, guys. They don't know what the hell to do. Take a look at in the morning interview.
And what was it? So I'm here with my colleagues, the Liberal caucus members, ministers all, to talk about what happened last night in Edmonton when the Premier of the province of Alberta, Danielle Smith, invites Tucker Carlson right into the heart of my riding. You can tell a lot about a person by the company they keep. And I have knocked those doors in Edmonton Centre. And I know how progressive a riding Edmonton Centre is. I've represented it since 2015. And for Danielle Smith to bring the mouthpiece of the MAGA conservative far right to Edmonton Centre to spew hate about LGBTQ2 people is beyond the pale. It's deplorable, and we won't stand for it. And I can tell you, it is completely unacceptable for the Premier of any province to say that she wants to put a target on the back of any Canadian politician, and my friend and colleague Stephen Guilbeault simply for doing his job. You can have...
Oh, Stephen Guilbeault, the environmental minister who is destroying Canada in his posse of you fool goons. Unbelievable, guys. They don't know what to do when they have Tucker in, Calgary and Edmonton telling it how it is. There's a huge crowd of people who want to hear what he has to say. Why are people there? Why are they listening to Tucker? Well, because you guys have fucked up Canada royal. So here I am, guys. We're in, people call it Glamis, but it's the Imperial Sand Dunes. I got a paddle tire on the dirt bike finally. It was hard to get on with the tire spoons, with the tubeless as well. So let's take a look at more of these liberal fools, guys. They are freaking out, and they're going to do anything to distract you from their sins.
Respectful discourse in this country. You can raise the issue, you can bang your fist on a table at a FedProv meeting, that's all legit. But you do not summon the dogs of MAGA conservatism to come and somehow try to scare us.
The dogs of MAGA conservatism. Oh, this guy's on a trike. 2-stroke 500 trike. Wow. It's so funny because you have these lefts they're not left, they're freaking extreme. They're terrorists. That's how far they're terrorists to our countries. And then they call us the mega extreme right because we just want the Constitution to be upheld, which is actually center thinking. It's what a true conservative in the terms of now how you consider it is really just common sense. We don't want mass immigration that's going to destroy the country. Some is fine, of course, but we don't need to double it or triple it from what we've been doing in the last whole time. And we don't want double or triple inflation. We don't want our medical care to be shit. We don't want to be afraid of going to the hospital. We don't want food and fuel to cost 3 times more than it should because you're just taxing and taxing and taxing with your bullshit carbon tax to help the environment when all you do is hurt the environment with your military-industrial complex. Shall I say more?
And to try to incite violence against politicians of any stripe, it's not acceptable. And if she would take her job seriously, she'd actually be focused on housing, on climate change, on actually solving the issues of Albertans, like forgetting her ridiculous proposal on CPP, instead of trying to summon evil forces from the United States to try to take on one of our colleagues.
Evil forces from the United States. Tucker speaking truth about what the hell you guys are doing is an evil force. Why is this freaking comedy, guys? Just like Tucker said, you got to laugh at these fools. That's all you can do is just laugh in their freaking face, making fun of how the irony of the situation about they do all these terrible things and then they call you the evil.
Il y a une continuité qu'on voit ici des propos de Pierre Poilievre la semaine dernière lorsqu'il est venu insulter les élus québécois.
I mean, this goes beyond me and the fact that I was targeted last night at this event. This increases political violence against everyone who runs for office in this country, whether they're doing it at the municipal level, at the provincial level, or at the federal level. As my friend and colleague Randy...
Because you're a terrorist, you freak. You're a terrorist. Get the hell out of our country. And then you won't have any problems. Well,
Like, we can have differences of opinion. We can bang our fist on the table when we meet. We can have strong disagreement. But to incite violence against people who disagree with you, that's not how things should be done in Canada.
Incite violence? we are speaking our right to free speech, well, what you try to take away and have taken away in so many capacities, from the internet to the television to the radio. You attacked us. You attacked our medical autonomy. You Gilbert piece of shit.
What is the violence? What is the violence? I think the Mr. also said this in French. What is the violence?
He has attacked everyone and all of your friends and all of your families, not just with your medical autonomy, but with your wallet, your budget, your house, your infrastructure, your water, your power, your gas. It's insane.
That they are bringing to Canada. What is the political violence that you're talking about? Just to be very clear.
Well, to put a target on someone's back, for example.
What is the evil?
To put someone in crosshairs.
Say they're bringing here.
I mean, spewing hate speech about LGBTQ people, trying to bring the kind of division that they have in the United States north of the border.
Tucker wasn't spewing hate speech about the LGBTQ+. He was simply stating the facts about what you agenda is in terms of promotion and wrecking. You guys are hurting the whole image of that. You know, you've lumped everybody together. The gay people aren't happy about you lumping this whole political agenda, combining them with it as well. You know, like the only LGBTQ people is you're inciting hate. You're inciting violence. That's what the liberals are doing. Everybody was fine. Everybody can have their privacy. Everybody can do what they want in public or at home. But you've actually created this big stigma that it's become like the forefront of your political agenda 2030. You guys are the word racism has never been said more. You spew it like you're fucking spit out of your mouth.
MAGA-style conservatism has no place in Canada, and it's trying to reach through our borders. And as Minister Rodriguez has said, conservative premiers, instead of doing their jobs, are trying to invite this wave of populism. And I can tell you, it's making newcomers nervous and fearful. People in the LGBTQ community do not feel safe. We have people who want to run for office that take a look at what happened last night in Edmonton and say, why bother? And that is not good for the political commons, and it's not good for Canadian democracy.
You brought up Pierre Poilievre's name in your comments. I mean, is this going to be your strategy effectively going forward, is tying Pierre Poilievre to Trump?
He wants to be prime minister of this country. What happened last night is not acceptable. Is he going to condemn that? If he wants to run for prime minister, he should have the courage to condemn those. It's not acceptable.
So is this going to be your strategy? Attended, sir. I mean, what do you make of the fact that there is an audience for it and for their perspective?
Well, as I said in French, the extreme right politics, don't ask the question if it's coming to Canada. It's already here.
Is this going
and they're bringing it.
Just like you brought fascism, you piece of shit.
4 heures, vous n'arrêtez pas de nous dire faut qu'on arrête de parler de politique puisqu'on parlait de McDonald's, faut qu'on parle vraiment de nous, ce qu'on fait sur le terrain. En quoi est-ce que vous nous allons parler par rapport à ce qui s'est passé avec M. McDonald? Est-ce que vous parlez
Leading to the divide? Should he not have been let into the country? You're all familiar with his rhetoric. He's been doing this for years. So, what? Should he have been stopped at the border?
I think his word should be condemned. We cannot accept that in Canada. This is not us, and this will never be. This will never be us.
Are you not contributing to the divide by coming out here and comparing Poilievre to this and making this about him? Are you not contributing to the divide by doing that? If your government has been accused,
we're not comparing Poilievre to him. I think what
you're not. Have you looked at your own advertising?
What Mr. Rodriguez just said is he said I'm asking Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the opposition, to condemn those hateful and violent statements by Tucker Carlson.
Well, guys, they were talking way too fast. They weren't doing the Chrystia Freeland strategy. We're like, well, nice to meet you. I'm so glad you came to this press conference. We followed you here. And it's like, well, thank you for the question. Let me think about what I'm going to say and how I'm going to lie and how I'm going to spin this. They were just freaking afraid, and they're losing it, guys. They're losing it, as they should, because they're a bunch of losers, ruining our country. I mean, I don't have the words to say right now and just lay out what's going on with. They're like the MAID program. 50,000 Canadian people who are depressed, want to die, killed. Like Tucker said, this is a form of genocide. The military-industrial complex, they take all our money, tax, and send it away for 1 million people in Ukraine to die for a bullshit proxy war about the US versus Putin, which will never win, and they lose and they lose. And Putin's not taking over the world, he's helping the people of the Donbass region, and he's not gonna take over all of Europe, and that's what they want you to believe. It's so crazy, guys. Anyways, I gotta go ride. This is Irnieracing. Peace.